Hello, my dear ones. Still hitting it today. I want to finish the video that I started earlier. Now, that was a short one, so hopefully we'll make this about an hour video as well. But you have so many great questions and stuff. I'm so proud of you, and I want to make sure that I get help as many of you as I can. What's all this? Jazz. You know, the jazz that was on, what was that, The Voice, was it, or American Idol, one of the two. Thanks, sweetheart. I am a 33-year-old female from Hawaii who currently lives in Greece. Wow. Yeah, we have some friends in Greece. Matter of fact, we were going to go over there and do some lecturing and try to get some healing centers set up over there, but I've been told they're pretty traditional over there as well. Until I was 20. I ate the typical American diet. While I always loved and ate plenty of fruit and a fair amount of vegetables, excellent. I ate pork chop steak and roast beef like it was my job. But you had fruits and vegetables too. I did too because we were farm people, you know, but that wasn't the main focus. My consciousness began to shift in my early 20s, and by the time I was 26, I had left meat behind for good. 80% of the time, I have been dairy-free. Have a weakness for Indian food. Oh, you too? Well, we have a brand new, of course we don't even have one and never had one, but there's a brand new Indian restaurant opening up in this town. This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard. Holy crap. And I peeked in the window. I just was walking by, and and they did look like they had a buffet in there. Damn. For a few years in between '07 and now, I ate fish, seafood, but those days are long gone. I am grateful for this shift in consciousness, even if it took quite a while. Yeah, time's a relative thing, isn't it? Doesn't really exist. Despite leaving meat, fish, dairy, etc. behind, I was like most vegetarians and vegans who consumed a high-fat diet and was addicted to pastas, grains, and beans. Typical, absolutely. And those things can tear you up. Oh. Since my early 20s, my body was always bloated, and digestive problems, mild daily diarrhea, etc., even on a vegan diet. I also have had eczema since I was born. Wow. You know, there's so much of this skin, but I think you can trace that to the thyroid glands and people's inability to get enough body temperature to sweat, you know, and then after years of subcutaneous building up of lymph, then it becomes even harder to sweat. So getting the thyroid up where your body temperature is above, let's say 97.6, would be helpful to sweat. But again, that shows that you've had lymphatic problems out the chute. Out the mother chute, you had lymphatic problems. But that's how it is because we live in our mothers and we're hooked to their blood and lymph systems. So what's theirs is ours, so to speak. I was given steroid creams. Boy, did they just make it worse. Oh, yeah. And always told by doctors I have to live with it for the rest of my life. Additionally, I've had sinus infections at least once or twice a year and sometimes more. I hate that. Well, yeah, I lived on dairy too. And boy, winter times come, locked up, nose drops, things like, I was addicted to nose drops, the only way I could breathe. And I couldn't poop, you know, but no one's focused on the diet. Couldn't have been what you ate. And it's like, well, what else could it be? But, you know, you don't think of those things sometimes in some levels. Lethargy, mild depression from time to time, and incessant, now here we could get back to that parathyroid thing, and incessant bouts of sneezing. Oh, you know, again, your body trying to clean itself, trying to get rid of things. When you sneeze, when you cough, when you vomit, obviously, methods of elimination. Yeah, if your kidneys and bowels don't do it, it could be up for grabs. And leave pus and tears flowing out of my eyes. Pus out of your eyes. where a typical, I wonder what medical doctors would say about pus coming out of the eyes. I suffer from year in and year out. You did. Oh my God. I know the suffering you're talking about. I mean, I don't think I had it that bad, of course, and I never took steroids or anything like that, because farm people don't do that kind of crap as a rule. Maybe modern do, but not in the old days. You didn't, you know, you had to die to get carted off to a medical doctor. But like my dad did, have a piece of wood from a power saw shoot right up his hand. Yeah, but, you know, my dad was strong. No pain meds. Doc Friend gave him a quart of whiskey and said, start drinking. And in he went. And we had to go to his house. And in he went right up in there and took out a piece of wood that rammed right up in the... Oh, I felt sorry for my dad. I knew he was in pain. But that's the old way. Give you some alcohol and go at it, baby. I started your videos when I was living in Bali. Oh, wow, cool beans. From 2012 to 2014. Boy, it doesn't seem like we've been doing these videos that long, does it? And I believe it is the reason I started incorporating more raw fruits and vegetables in my life. Now I live in Greece, and I finally shifted from 50% raw vegan diet to 100% raw fruit and veggie lifestyle. Yeah! This is a cool woman right here. The majority of my calorie consumption is, and I can tell by the way you word your wording too, by the way, my dear. The majority of my calorie consumption is from fresh fruits or freshly pressed juices I make at home. The first 2 weeks I did all fresh fruits. Now I occasionally have a salad, maybe once every 2 days or so. No oils, grains, beans, nuts, soy, or almond milk for 3 weeks and counting, and I feel fantastic. Of course you do. You know, you do get feeling fantastic, except for bouts of healing crisis. Okay, you know, the body's going to clean itself and fix itself, but man, coming off of beans and grains and crap like that, boy, do you feel good. You feel light, you feel meditative, you feel quiet. You can just keep on going to the benefits of how you feel. Now, some people like to feel gassy, bloated, fat, things like that. I never did. Now, I can focus for longer periods of time. My energy levels are more throughout the day, and my skin has already improved in terms of hydration and clarity. Excellent. Keep going, because it just gets better, 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 better. This isn't where you just do it a little while and it gets better. No, you want to take this train of yours right into Wellville. Get this done. No more skin problems, to where you can have something bad and you don't have any kickback from it. You're too clean. Absolutely. And she's absent of a lot of cravings. And since I've always had a sweet tooth, you can imagine how freeing this feels. Oh, yes, big time. You know, I went after the fungus in me one time with Parasite M, and boy, I can't tell you. I didn't crave pastas, grains, or nothing like that anymore. I never really have been a big bread person like that. But definitely now, nothing like that even turns my bippy on. I like flavor. And fruits and berries and melons, oh my God. I like my salad, but not near like I like a fresh, ripe bowl of fruit, organic fruit. Oh, whew. There's just, you can't help but smile when you eat a big bowl of ripe organic fruit. It's like, oh my God, this is nectar. Two, I can remember craving hot drinks, and if possible, frothy, milky drinks. Oh, well, I can't say anything. I used to like my malts, vanilla malts and chocolate malts. Love malts. No one told me growing up that one of the biggest mucus formers there is. Yeah, no one ever said that. You drink the milkshake, you're going to have to take nose drops. No one ever said that. I haven't had or craved one since day 3. Boy, you're doing good, sweetheart. My work requires me to dine at restaurants and write about them. No kidding. Cool job. Oh, my God. How do you do that? My work requires me to dine at restaurants and write about them, so I have to start eating one cooked vegan always meal per week starting later this month. Well, you know, I guess it could be worse, you know, if that's your job. And of course, when it comes down to the final analysis, once you get your body healthy, it is all about the flavors. Once this work project wraps up at the end of August, I intend to do a full fruit detox using your herbs and shift the focus of my work so that I may maintain this wonderful new diet lifestyle. You turn me on. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Cool stuff. I wanted to share my story with you and to say, what's that? M-A-H-A-L-O, mahalo, for the inspiration and education. Well, great love to you from me, my dear. Any day. We're all in this together. It's just a natural rhythm to put your hand out and say, come on, let's go have some fun. Before I sign off, I have a couple questions to ask you. You got it. I am ordering some of your herbal formulas when I make a trip to the U.S. in a couple of weeks. Lymphatic 1, Parasite M, adrenals, kidneys, GI broom, upper circ, brain, and nerve. Are there any of these that I should not take concurrently? Should I order some of the tinctures and some as capsules? If so, which ones? I would do your 14-week program, but need to save more money first. Well, you always want to do, I would say do 2 kidneys. If you're not filtering, do 2 kidneys, 1 lymphatic formula, and make that a capsule because that'll help clean the bowels with it. So move yourself from lymphatic 1 capsule to lymphatic 5 capsule back to lymphatic 1 capsule because you want to take a break off the number 5 capsules because they are super strong. That's your blood group, poke group, chaparral. Those are your strong babies. But they will help super clean the bowel too. I definitely do a GI broom. I definitely would do a stomach and bowel for a short period of time and then move to a heal all capsules. If you really want to save money, you can do the GI broom as long as you're moving your bowels well, lymphatic 1 capsule, 2 kidney formulas. And if you want to do a glandular and your blood pressure is really low, then I'd do a glandular. If your blood pressure isn't that low, maintaining a 60 to 70 diastolic, then I would say do the adrenal herbal formula or endocrine gland. You know, get a picture of your eyes, take a look at where you got the ups and downs here. But yeah, you got it right on. Upper circuit, brain, and nerve, that is just good stuff. That I need to get back on that. That'll churn my hair. When I do that, you'll start seeing my hair turn color again. That's just the way it does it to everyone. It's just that I haven't been taking them, and it's sometimes you just don't. You get away from that stuff, and they're right there with me. It's just you can't take things all the time like that. Are there any of these that? Yeah, no, they all work good together. They work good together. I have not seen too many of my herbs pulling on each other, to tell you the truth. Sometimes I feel things like that, but I don't feel anything like that yet. I watched a video that labeled spider vein. Oh yeah. That was just out. I just put that out. But it only brushes over the topic. Could you explain how we get spider? Oh, then that's on the video I just did. How we get spider veins, please, and whether or not an intense fruit diet and water fasting regimen can eliminate them. I've had them since I was a teenager. Well, you know what? I was kind of thinking, when you said something back here, I was kind of thinking of parathyroid at the time. Now, I've been doing iris analysis and 14-week protocols so much that sometimes I forget whose case is who. Because just for lunch, I did 2 protocols for people and an iris analysis. And, sometimes yeah. But you get spider veins and varicose veins when you're eating proteins, bottom line. Bottom line, when you bring acid foods, forming foods into the body, and this would be true of nuts and protein and beans as well. Anytime you dump a more acid diet into the bloodstream, a more acid-based diet instead of a base diet, then you're going to have that pH change or shift of the blood, which can happen without serious consequences. So the blood obviously has the ability to steal. And it has to steal electrolytes because that's the only thing that neutralizes acids is bases. So what's the most predominant base in the human body? Calcium. Hands down. And it is used in everything from nerve transmission to skeletal systems, obviously, to connective tissue, which holds everything in place, holds it firm and tight, holds the organs and glands tight, holds the vasculars in and tight. When you start borrowing calcium out of this connective tissue system to fight acids, you lose connective tissue, just like you would bone. So what happens is you develop bone spurs because in the presence of phosphorus or nitrogen or acids, your calcium ionizes, turns to a rock, And so this is how you get bone matrix, is mixing calcium and phosphorus. So again, calcium is leached out of the vascular walls, weakening the walls. And you could have this even in a genetic stance where your walls are weakened because somebody weakened them by high acidic diets. But to straighten them up is to reverse that process. In other words, eat a high electrolyte, high calcium diet, which comes naturally in fruits, berries, melons, and vegetables, particularly in your vegetables. But it's not about how much you consume, it's how much you digest, absorb, utilize, remember? Yeah, we have numbers of fantasy sometimes where it's way too much because everybody treats everybody the same. It's true at one level, but physically everyone has different level of absorption, different levels of digestion, determining on their genetic family trees. So yeah, there's a lot of variables in individuals, and yet we're all the same. You just have to understand at what level we're all the same. But you definitely want to work on those spider veins. I don't like that. So work on your parathyroid, because somewhere I picked up the sense of thyroid and parathyroid here. But anyway, that's what you want to do. But whenever you dump a predominantly acid-forming diet into your body, the blood hits first. So naturally, that's not gonna exist. That's not good. Because that's how people kill themselves, of course, is bringing in acids faster than the blood can still bases to neutralize, to keep that proper pH balance. So the superfood blend, I say this, if you want to fix like scoliosis and spider veins and things fast, get yourself detoxed a little bit, get your kidneys filtering, get your bowels cleaned up, then hit the parathyroid glandular. I'm sorry if you're a vegan, but you know, when you're going after the parathyroid and you have serious things, this is the one you might have to just stretch on a little bit, because it's hard in herbal lore to find anything for the parathyroid gland and anything that's going to make a difference in any type of speedy thing. So remember, depression is another parathyroid issue. It's another calcium issue. This is why you see postpartum depression in females, because their babies just suck the calcium out of them, you know, a lot of calcium, and they can't put it back. Postpartum depression occurs in females with parathyroid weaknesses. And you can look at Andrea Yates. I talk about her a lot because I'll never forget that poor thing. She drowned all 5 of her babies. And if you look at her on the news, she's real gaunt. And she said that God told her if she didn't drown them, that the devil would get them. When you get to that level of extreme calcium deprivation, you're going to have hallucinations. When you don't utilize calcium, nerve impulses are involved, your connective tissue, you can see your skin is very wrinkled and very gaunt, and you can tell she's major parathyroid. So what does psychiatrists have her on? Antidepressants. And here we go. Those on antidepressants have a tendency to kill people. And yet this system can't get out of the way itself. It knows that. But no one, notice this, all these deaths in America, the Columbine deaths, all these schools, the kid that went into the kindergarten and killed these little babies and all this kind of crap, and then the theater guy, then there's a guy in California that's a famous director's son. Every one of these they've found were on antidepressants. You think you're going to hear it in the news? I'm sure pharmaceuticals companies are going, whew, I hope they never find out that we're the cause of these things. We're the actual link to why all these kids are killing kids. Oh no, we pawn it off. And this is the sickening part of our society right now. Is pharmaceutical companies sit at a major criminal activity, and yet no one's doing a thing about it. That's because they deal with the money. Bucks. If you'll sell your mother for $1, you know, that's just about where we're at. So, you know, you can abbreviate with that. Upper circuit brain and nerve, if you need it. If you need to save money, then you don't have to use those two unless you think you've got cholesterol plaquing or anything. If you've got cataracts, you better use upper circulation and brain and nerve, because that's cholesterol, and that means you're also plaqued in the brain. And if you have a client like that, you want to keep them from stroking or heart attacks, you want to use upper and lower circulation on them. Keep them on it until you can clean all this lymph out and the cholesterol buildup out and all this stuff. Yeah, you want to fix your parathyroid gland, honey. Now, you have to determine whether it's the parathyroid or the pituitary. That's where you guys will have to come in and help. One way, you can get a picture of your eyes and take a look at that 12 o'clock, each side of 12 o'clock, depending on which eye, remember? I think probably Thursday, Drew and I are going to go over your eyes. And we're going to do one last eye thing there and help you guys out with that sort of thing. That way it'll keep me good with with everything. Appreciate your understanding with that. I've included some fun fruit. I saw that. In Greece, almost all produce is local. Wow. And it has the best watermelon out anywhere in the world. Don't do that to me. I mean, that's torture. Jazz, you're torturing me. You're torturing me bad. Top on the counter. Look at this, guys. I love you too, though. Aloha to you too. And that's a seeded watermelon, baby. Oh, you have no idea how that plate wouldn't last me 2 seconds. Look at, now this is how a refrigerator should look. That's how your refrigerator should look. Wow, love it. Love it, love it. That's some cool pictures. And look at this. Oh my God. And then she's got, of course, toilet tissue by the watermelon. Interesting. Oh man. You guys are great. Doesn't it feel good? It feels good to feel good. That's all there is to it. And those of you that don't feel good, it feels good to feel good. Don't let anything stop you. Working on yourselves and working on your body there. Don't let anything stop you.